Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 80 of The Home Front. Please let me know you're on. This is my beautiful daughter. She's decided to make an appearance this evening. And that was her telling us she's out. So, welcome. Please say hi. We have a special guest this evening, Mr. Jeremy Rubin, out of California. I'm going to wait for him to get on. He is known as the Friendly Flipper. Super excited to interview him here in just a few minutes. And for anyone that is joining for the first time, I come to you guys Monday through Friday with a little bit of information about real estate. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit the like button, hit the love button. Let me know you're on. What's going on? I see T Free is on. How are you tonight, this evening, sir? Ryan, what's going on? Let's see. Still waiting for Mr. Rubin to join. Nope, not on yet. Okay, so welcome. Please share this out. You never know who is going to be on your friends list that will benefit from this information. So let me know what you guys are up to this evening. How's everything going? And we will give Mr. Rubin a chance to jump on. What's going on, Joshua? How are you? How are you doing this evening? What are you guys up to? Jay, thank you very much. Just communicating with Jeremy. So please let me know what you guys are doing. Thank you so much, Jay. That is very kind of you. Had a busy day. Pretty much just administrative stuff. But other than that, we haven't really had too much. Had a lot of follow-ups today, working with clients, getting them ready to close. Maybe like I have one next week. Actually, I have one every week for the next couple of weeks. Working on a deal that I have going on. Got an offer in on one of my listings, and I'm trying to get that one put together. So we will see how that plays out. That will add to the list of closings we have this week. Still waiting on Jeremy to jump on. Okay, this patch, I'll explain to you guys real quick. This is my Thrive patch. What this is a vitamin patch. I put this on. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on? Let me invite you on here real quick. Not seeing you. Are you on your mobile device? I can't invite you on yet. This is a Thrive patch, so it gives me energy throughout the day. I take 2 vitamins in the morning. I then take a shake with some lot of vitamins in it, and then I put this on, and it gives me energy throughout the day. So super excited. Let's see. Invite to broadcast. There we go. Did it work? Can't invite this guest. Why not? It's telling me I can't invite you, Jeremy. Cannot invite guests. Are you on your mobile device, sir? So we'll give him a minute. But yeah, that's what this patch is. It definitely gives me energy. Yesterday, I was waiting for my delivery to come in of my monthly supply. And my daughter's like, I'll be so glad when you get that because you are just a grump today. It does have some caffeine in it. It doesn't have a lot. Okay, I can invite you now. Let's see. So, what's going on, Lawrence Thompson? Thank you for joining. Ernest, how are you guys doing this evening? We are finally able to invite Mr. Jeremy Rubin on here, Friendly Flipper. Let's see, just give him a minute to join. Hopefully that works.
There we go.
Hello, what's going on?
Hello. Oh, it's a wonderful day here on the central coast of California. How are you?
Good. It is.
Just trying to get
We're on the East Coast, so
adjusted.
we're on opposite coasts here.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to get to speak with you. I've never actually gotten to speak with you before.
Yeah, this is cool. This is actually, I have not done a live like this with such little interaction prior to, so this is kind of cool for me too. So
Yeah, well, I hear you're into investing, so I want to get into all that. But first, I want to give you a chance to kind of introduce yourself. Nobody is going to tell your story better than you, so go ahead. Introduce yourself,
Oh,
Mr. Friendly Flipper.
gonna do that to me? Okay. I'm Jeremy Rubin. I am the friendly flipper, and I flip houses full time. Been doing it for a year and a half now, full time. I left my job of 11 years in retail sales in January 2016. Been flipping houses about 3 years in total, 3.5 years in total, and bought my first house as an investment in 2011. So I've been a landlord, flipper, wholesaler, and am now, most recently, going to be teaching other people how to flip houses too.
That is awesome.
Is that a different introduction?
That is perfect. No, that's perfect. That gives
Okay.
us a little bit of
Okay.
information, gives us a little background. But I will tell you, I'm kind of a new investor myself. We've done one flip and I've completed one mid completion on my wholesale deal. So I'm excited. So
Nice.
I am going to definitely be paying attention to what you are saying because you are in the industry that I'm going to be kind of going over to. I'm a real estate agent now out of Virginia. So I'm trying to transition a little bit.
Very cool.
And
Very
I've
cool. Well, I'm happy
been
to be here.
in,
Thanks for having me on.
yeah, absolutely. I do this show every day, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, to kind of give everyone a little bit of information about real estate. And I try to pick topics that might be beneficial. And investing is a big deal because it seems to be very trendy right now. So I want to ask you a lot of questions about your experience in investing. And I also saw that you are part of the elite closers. And I want to find
Yes.
out what that's about. So please start there.
Oh,
Tell us about the elite
woo! The
closers.
elite closers. All right. So the elite closers, we are a group of five gentlemen that are coming together from all different backgrounds, and we're coming together with a common goal. And it all kind of came about after 10x Growth Con. There's a gentleman you may know. If you don't know, you need to. Edward ETE Mendez. Um, he's on Facebook. I see him posting on Facebook every day, one, if not two or three pictures of him just cheesing with the Colgate smile, taking a selfie in front of a vehicle he just sold with his customer. And he's in Southern California, and he's not too far from me. So I'm like, who is this guy? I got to connect with this dude. I didn't meet him at GrowthCon, but he's a hustler. I can tell he's a hustler. So I'm like, man, I want to see what this is all about. So he and I start talking, and he tells me about this vision he has of 5 or 6 guys coming together in this house and just masterminding and closing deals and holding each other accountable, and just with a main goal of growth, personally, professionally, financially, spiritually, just all around. And I'm like, dude, that's an awesome idea. I've wanted to kind of, branch out into a bigger city. I've been in a farm town for pretty much since 2000. So I'm kind of ready to move into a bigger city. And I just felt like, oh man, this is the perfect, this is what it's supposed to be. And so it's going to be Edward, myself, and 3 other phenomenal gentlemen, one from Texas and 2 from the East Coast. One of them is Charles the Hammer Lawrence. He's on his way right now, selling his way across the country, state by state, to get here. And that's the beginning of the journey. So it's Edward,
Wow.
E.T. Mendez, Christopher C. Multiplies Morales, Victor the Gorilla, I can't say his last name, Feliciano, and then myself, as well as Charles the Hammer. So all of us coming together. We're going to be living in a house. We've already got one that we're looking at in Anaheim, and it's going to be like a frat house, but we're closing deals.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that's kind of that's the plan with the elite closers, and then it gets better. I can go into more detail if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I saw something about a reality show.
Oh yes, oh yes. So we're gonna take all of our what we go through every day as far as, our learning routine, our training routine, our working routine, like all of this, document it and put it in, make it available for everyone to see and everyone to join in on the action online. And we're also looking at some other methods of doing that as well. But our main mission that we're all coming together for this is 5 guys to make $5 million in 400 days. That
Wow.
is the plan. So using our powers combined.
No, that sounds like an awesome goal. And it sounds like a lot of fun. So you guys are all going to be living there all the time, like full time in the house.
Full time in the house, cameras rolling full time, live. Yeah, we're gonna have little short clips we're gonna be releasing. There's gonna be an apparel line, launch clothing, wristbands, hats, all that. Like it's gonna be huge.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well,
Shout
guys
out to all my elite closers.
Yeah, exactly. And then it seems like maybe guys have a little bit of an easier time learning to live together than females do. So maybe you guys won't have such a hard time.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I can't speak from the other side of that coin, but I have roommates right now, and two other dudes, and yeah, we get along great. So I think we've already begun to hang out virtually, even with Charles being across the country. We get on Facebook, video calls and group chats together. He's selling his way across, and he's the astronaut basically out in space right now, and we're down at mission control trying to help him and guide him as best we can. But we're not out there living in space, so that guy, like he's doing an awesome job. Shout out to you, Charles. You rock, man.
That's awesome. So I definitely will be waiting and watching. When is that? When do you guys have that kind of like getting started? Do you have a date yet?
We are looking to move into that house no later than August 1st. So it's right around the corner, a month away. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So now let's go ahead and talk about how you got into investing and flipping.
Sure. I got into investing and flipping because I always knew I wanted to own my own business. I wasn't sure what. But then I got to the point working my retail job where I was like, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for something like there's no way I can picture myself doing this for 40 more years. And then considering that like a successful life, or much less interesting, so I knew I wanted more. And so then I just started searching for business opportunities online, a lot on YouTube. I use my lunch hour every day to just research business opportunities online. I knew I wanted to do something where I could work from a computer and an internet connection and a phone, and so some kind of consulting, something, where I wasn't going to be tied to this brick and mortar building. I spent 11 years inside of this box, and I'm like, man, I need to get out in the world. And so then I came across all sorts of different things: day trading, affiliate marketing, SEO stuff, and then I kind of stumbled upon real estate, and then from there, then I learned what wholesaling was, and I'm like, oh dang, that's very interesting. But does it really work? And it seemed like it did, because I did some more research, found Bigger Pockets. That website, at least I could see what else, other people were looking at. There's tons of info on that site. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but I'm like, okay, so wholesaling, so it's real. There's people doing this apparently. So I just dove more into that, and then just nonstop would just watching videos all the time on YouTube regarding real estate investing, flipping, wholesaling, just all those keywords in the field, just trying to absorb everything I could.
That sounds a lot of how I got into it. I was already in real estate, but I would say it was probably about a year and a half ago I started binge watching YouTube. I started looking, I found Bigger Pockets. And then when I found their podcast, that's all I listened to all day long. Then I started reading the books. I started going after all the investment books, and I'm self-taught too. So I just took a little bit longer to jump in, but it's absolutely exciting. I think one of the things that I hear the most is it's just getting your first deal. And once you do it, it's a lot less stressful, because I know when I did when we were signing up, doing the contract for the first flip, I was so nervous because I was like, this is all falling on me. So it's a lot of money to put at risk. But we made it through it, and it was good. This this wholesale deal that I've been working on, I was very nervous because, again, it's the first time, and like you said, is it real? Can this be this easy, as easy as they say? And it actually, once I had the contract, I used someone else's contract, looked it over, and then had my buyer in place. I felt a lot more comfortable. So it is that easy once you find the deal. You just have to find the right deal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, that's entirely. And the first deal it's by far the hardest, because it's all. I mean, is it any different than all the other deals? No, but in your head, that's all. It's just because you haven't been there. It's uncharted waters, but once you do it, it's like real. Like once I held that check, really, like literally, I just sold this piece of paper from this person to this person.
Right.
And now I get a check. Like wow. And so then I was hooked. So I just dive in that was it. I was just diving in, no stopping me from there.
Well, if you don't mind sharing, how did you start finding your deals?
That I can't tell. No, I'm just kidding. Of course. So how did I start finding my deals? My first deal I found on Craigslist, actually.
Oh, wow.
I posted an ad saying, I'm looking for a house. I can pay cash. I'm not a real estate agent. And I just posted that in the for sale by owner section on Craigslist, for sale by owner real estate. That specific one, not real estate one, it's for sale by owner, because everyone that goes to look to sell their house, one of the first places they look is for sale by owner. And from there, I knew if this is what other people, I'm just getting this info like from, some people are saying, okay, put signs around your neighborhood. Some people are saying mail out letters. Some people are saying, post on the internet. So this is one thing that at my day job, I could kind of set and forget and just let it, just do its thing, and it's free. So it fit my what I needed at that time. And there's the good and the bad of it. Of course, it's free, so there's a bunch of spam, and hardly ever deals are few and far between on there, but they're out there. So it's like you got to start somewhere. So it's just about starting and posting that first ad, and then that's how I found it. I got a call from someone saying they wanted to sell their house, and they didn't want to hassle with showing it, and process of having people come in and out, and they just wanted to make it quick and convenient. And it was a mom and dad and 5 kids in a 3-bedroom modular home, and so they had outgrown the house. They wanted to move into something bigger, and so it just all kind of came together. They wanted a quick sale, so I went over there, made them an offer based on what I knew I'd be able to make the improvements it needed, and sell it, or the end buyer would. And they said no, and they didn't take my offer for 2 months. So I just went back to my day job and just posting the Craigslist ad, just posting it. And then eventually they called me back, though. They called me and they're like, let's talk. Because there's a saying, as I forget exactly, I may butcher this, but as time goes on, motivation increases. So, so as time passes, the seller's motivation is going to increase. So a lot of it is just being there at the right time, just being available to the seller that needs to sell, when they need to sell, because that's the thing, is it all kind of comes down to you being that person that's like, yeah, I can perform now, let's go, no hassle. That's the big advantage that you offer. That's why there has to be that give and take with the price. So
Oh, definitely. Well, I'll tell you, with my first deal, the seller contacted me to list her property. So that was October of last year. So I can tell you, I've been following up with her for quite some time. She told me, we have some repairs to make. She explained her situation, told me that they were going to move this year. So I just continued to follow up with her. I thought I was going to list the property, but she did have some repairs to make before she listed it. But then I went back and I started thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe I can change the angle a little bit, save her some money, and actually make more off of it this way. So that's what I ended up doing. Like I said, I just continued to follow up with her every couple of weeks, checking in on her. I gave her 3 prices. I told her, here's what you can list it for in top condition. Here's what you can list it for if you make the needed repairs just to get it on the market. And here's what I can buy it from you for if you don't want to do anything. And ended up, she didn't want any of the hassle because it's quite a bit of repair that she needed to make. So she was like, I just want to get rid of it. I don't want to hassle with it. And, she took the price and done deal, finally. But it took a long time.
Yeah, no, congratulations.
Thank you.
The persistence is you're definitely rewarded for persistence in this and any business. I'm sure many can relate to that. But the thing that you just said that really stuck out was I love the multiple offer system. 3 offers, like I'm super down with that. I usually do a cash offer, a seller finance offer, and maybe 2 seller finance offers depending on how much equity they have. But I love how you also basically, as a real estate agent, you're wearing both hats almost at the same time, like the investor and the agent hat, and that's awesome. And it sets a really great, it paints a great picture for the seller too, because they'll know, okay, so top condition, if I do some repairs, or I can get rid of it right now, and then it shows them why their neighbor's house that is in top condition sold for what it sold for, and why yours would need these repairs to be able to sell for that. And everyone's a winner. At the end of the day, it's like, do you want it sold fast? Do you want it sold now, later? And either way, you're going to sell it or buy it.
Well, and then the thing is, I've heard a lot of people say, kind of give investors there's like a negative thing around it, because they're like, oh, you're just trying to take advantage of the seller. But that's not the case. She's very, very grateful. She's like, you've been so helpful and you stuck it out with me through this period. She's just very happy. She's like, and we could just walk away with no hassle. And that made me feel good too. I mean, aside from making money off of it, obviously the fact that she's very happy with everything made me feel really good. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And it's you're bringing more solutions to the table at the end of the day than the typical real estate professional would. So.
Oh yeah. And I feel good about that. I feel good about the way that I've been, that little path that I'm taking to try and get more that way. Yeah, so more awesome. About you, now that you've got your first deal, how did you continue? How many flips have you done in the time that you've been doing this?
So far up to 14. Looking at, got a couple offers in, so possibly acquiring a couple more here shortly. However, the majority of those actually was just from the last year to year and a half. So the learning curve, and getting that first deal, once you get that and like it's real to you, I think it's a combination of you believe it and you want it more, so you put even more effort.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's real, and that you're more confident, what you're doing. You're like, okay, even though you really still don't, because you've only done one, but you feel like you
right.
a little bit more that you do. So, and then I realized the power of marketing, paid marketing. I started marketing super heavily last year, towards into the second quarter of last year, and then just through the end of the year, really ramped up the marketing efforts, sending out letters. So I send send out letters. I'll show you, man.
I
Postcards.
actually texted your
Oh,
number to get those letters. To get the I got
nice.
the letters. Yeah, so I wanted to see what
Okay,
you're sending
awesome.
out.
Yeah. So I send out, this is an example of, one of the letters. And should we give the viewers an exclusive? No, you got to download
Absolutely. No, you got to download it. Tell them the number to text to get
Yeah.
the letters.
So you can get the letter, the exact letter I use. If you can read this, you can copy it right here. But you can also get it if you just text the word flip, FLIP, to 96000, 96,000. So 96 and 3 zeros. Text flip, and then you'll get the letter that I use. You'll also get a little guide that shows you what I look for when I'm driving through neighborhoods, like telltale signs of houses that need to be flipped, as well as a little cheat sheet that helps you stay organized when you're driving, jotting down addresses. So it's a little freebie.
Awesome
Yeah.
tips. Now you said you're going to start teaching people. Have you started your program yet, or is it something that's in the works?
It's in the works right now. I'm working with Lightspeed VT, and we are going to be delivering the best house flipping virtual training on the best platform in the world. Like literally, it's like I'm not messing around with this. Like I'm going all out. To make sure that that it's engaging for the student, that it considers their time as well. Like no one needs to spend 25 hours on a course if they can learn what they really need to learn, the condensed version, in 3 hours. And it's
Absolutely.
all because you're way better off. Like if you're going to budget 25 hours, okay, use those 3 to learn and then spend the other 22 taking action, and you'll get way further ahead than anyone's 25-hour course or whatever it is. So student success is the priority of this, because I know if I can make other people successful at this, then that will be my true success. If I can create 100 other flippers, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create 100 other flippers that can do enough flips to justify leaving their job and doing it full time.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. When can we expect to see that?
Before the end of summer. I don't have a solid release date. I'm still working on the development with Lightspeed. There's a lot that goes into this, like more than I ever thought, as far as the process. After I started using note cards, just index cards, to write down kind of what each section or topic will be, and I thought I'd have 5, and I'm already up to 20 something, and just each one of these is a video. But then again, I'm gonna condense it down. But so you're gonna get what you need to learn in basically 3 minutes of each of these little things. And,
the segments, yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll have knowledge checks throughout, action steps. This is what you need to go do now to make sure that you stay on pace for success. So I'm super excited about it.
That sounds awesome.
For all these future flippers.
That sounds like a really good platform. I've done some of the Grant Cardone training on that platform, and it's awesome. So I'm sure it's going to be somewhat similar. Well, I want to ask you, what books would you recommend that somebody new starting off, or how would you recommend someone brand new get started? What should they do?
Brand new. If you are brand new to real estate, I would have to give full credit to my mentor, Justin Williams. House Flipping HFHQ. If you search HFHQ on YouTube, episode 1, he does a podcast which is just pure value. After listening and watching hundreds of videos and kind of gathering, okay, what's good, what's kind of not good, because you kind of get a general sense of, okay, this is what kind of works, this is this would apply to me, this wouldn't apply to me. I found his podcast, and just nothing but great content, pure value. He brings experts on from all different areas within real estate, from lenders to contractors to wholesalers to their flippers. And he's currently flipping. So if you search HFHQ on YouTube, you'll find it. It's a lime green and black kind of backdrop. And yeah, I can't recommend him enough. I appreciate you, Justin Williams. You rock. And so that's where I would start. And then as soon as you kind of get a feel for it, then check out my course.
Yeah, then come over to your platform.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm taking notes, by the way, because, again, I'm a newbie and I want to learn. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to,
I want to learn as much as possible about this. So, and you've been doing it more. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity. Like that's a big mindset shift that I had, that I've just kind of thing that I've gone through in the last, I would say, 2 years, and something that he in particular, Justin, just hammers on. And I think that's a big part of it is just abundance, just the abundance mentality as opposed to a scarcity mentality. And once you start, like, once that switch flipped in my head, like, more opportunities present themselves. It's like you're limiting your opportunities. A scarcity mentality limits your opportunities, even though you think you're like, protecting whatever it is little that you have. It's really an abundance mentality that will bring opportunities to you. And sharing when you share and add value to other people's life, it comes back so much more. So
absolutely. Do you have any daily routines that you do to help you? Because, they say doing these core things every single day will continue even when you don't feel like it. It helps you build on that. And that, if you're not feeling like it, you just keep doing it.
Routines that I do every day. I don't have like a set, like at this hour I do this hour I do this hour, because so much varies depending on what time I go to sleep. Because sometimes I'm working till like 3 a.m. Sometimes I'm waking up at 5 a.m. or 4:30. It just depends. But almost every single day I will get a workout in of some sort. Usually it's lifting 5 days a week, and then 2 days of cardio. It's my therapy. It's my antidepressant. Makes me feel good. It keeps me going. And then it gives me energy. People say, I don't have energy to work out, but it's like, no, working out will give you energy. Like,
it does, actually. It does. I know when I'm the most tired and it's the hardest to get to the gym, when I go, and then I'm totally pumped up for hours. So that's an excuse. Yeah. You gotta get the energy from going to work out. So
yeah. So that's something every day, some kind of workout. Aside from that, lately it's just been craziness. Actually, since growing on, it's just been insane. Because I have a problem with not saying no necessarily, but like there's a lot of good opportunities that have presented themselves lately. So it's like, man, I just want all these things on my plate, and I have no choice to just force myself to have a bigger plate. Like I've always had like kind of that problem, like where like my parents would be like, oh, you're going to take a full college load and you're going to work full time. Like, are you sure? Like, yeah. Like I'll make it happen. And, I made most of it happen. Most of it. But that's kind of like, a few things fall off on the side here and there, but I think you'll get farther if you take on, more things. And
absolutely. Challenge yourself.
Push yourself,
Absolutely. I'll tell you right now where I'm at, I'm working full time. I'm doing real estate full time, and I'm momming full time. So there's a lot going on. And people ask me, how do you do that? I don't know. I just organize myself and I keep it going. I'm very organized. and I don't need a lot of sleep. I can function on very little sleep. 4 or 5 hours, I have so much energy, and I work out. So I think the harder you push yourself, the more you're going to accomplish, and the better you're going to feel about yourself.
Definitely, definitely, yeah. No, that's wow. Props to you.
Thank you.
That's all sorts of jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining. I've enjoyed our conversation. I've learned so much from you. I have a whole page full of notes. I do want to ask
Wow.
you, are there any books that you recommend that you've read?
Books, I think, well, I mean, everyone I think in here has probably read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's kind of, elementary, I
Yeah.
think, to entrepreneurship. But that's like literally like that's give that to someone who doesn't know that, kind of book. Like, as far as myself right now, I think the most recent one I read, it was called The Millionaire Fast Lane. It's actually across by MJ DeMarco, and that's kind of I'd say a really good book if you're if you're working a job right now for someone else and you wanna jump off and kind of do your own thing, and that kind of breaks that down. I would say kind of talks about like how like the wrong way, like you're in the slow lane if you think like, and this may be also, our audience here is kind of like 10x people, I think.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know. They're like, oh yeah, okay, these are all basic stuff. So like we already know this mentality stuff, but like, yeah, those I have a list, or actually a stack of books that I need to read,
Okay.
but I've not yet gotten to them because everything that's going on at the moment. But yeah, let me get back to you with some good book recommendations.
Well, I'm definitely going to pick this one up. I love reading, and I try to buy a couple books a week. Now, I can't read them all in 1 week, but I like to have a stack of books to pull from, because I'll tell you, I won't read it cover to cover. I'll get some gold nuggets out of it, and I put it down and move on to another one, and then I'll come back to it. So that's the way I read through them, because you're always picking up something. As long as you get something from the book, I feel like it's okay to move on. So
big time.
Yeah, so definitely I'm going to pick that one up. And I agree with you. Rich Dad, Poor Dad's like the basic investor book. Obviously this whole 10X thing, the 10X rule, if anyone hasn't read that, they're living under a rock.
Big time, yeah. And that's another reason, like, I speak so highly of Justin Williams, my real estate mentors, because he had a podcast like us on the side where called 8-Minute Millionaire, where just his main focus is real estate, but he and his wife started this podcast project, and they interviewed Grant Cardone, and I'd never heard of him before, and I just was like, this guy's hustle and this guy's drive is like insane. Like, who is this guy? And from that moment, I was hooked. Like, so it's crazy how it went from the seed of me being like, I'll never last 40 more years in this gray box, to on my lunch break, finding out job, work from home opportunities, new business opportunities, to finding about real estate, and then finding a mentor, and then that mentor is connected with Grant, and then Grant, I learn about GrowthCon, and I'm like, I know it's going to be quality. I don't really know why I'm going, but I just know there's going to be good stuff. And then I couldn't have ever predicted, that I'd be on this live right now. It's all a result of just like where you go. And it's crazy looking back. I could have never predicted this, but it's awesome. So.
Absolutely. No, and I didn't make it to GrowthCon this year, but I have my ticket for next year, so I am ready to go. I was so upset that I didn't get to go. It was just so many things going on. It wasn't the right time for me, but I was literally on my couch like, I didn't get to go. I was crying to my mom. Like, she's like, calm down. It's not that serious. I was like, it's serious. I didn't get to go to this huge event, but I'm ready to go next year. And here comes my daughter. She decided to make another appearance.
Yeah, there's going to be even crazier, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm super excited. So I'm really glad. Again, thank you for joining. We've gone a lot longer than usual. I just got yelled at the other day for, or actually this evening for doing videos too long. She told me that I'm doing super long videos and I'm taking up too much time. So. But thank you so much.
Okay.
The information
Yeah.
you dropped was amazing, and I appreciate your time and you being so generous with your knowledge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If anyone wants to know more, just text the 96 text flip to 96,000
Yeah, I
or
have
reach out
that
to me on
written down.
message. Happy to, answer any questions. I mean, share whatever knowledge I can with anyone on real estate, flipping, all that
Yeah,
good
and they
stuff.
need to find you. You're like, what other platforms are you on?
I am on Instagram as the Friendly Flipper, um, Snapchat as Friendly Flipper, no the, Twitter, Friendly Flipper with no E at the end, just Friendly Flipper. Yeah, or Facebook, the Friendly Flipper, and YouTube. So all the platforms. Yeah, feel free to reach out to me on any of them, and I am glad to help in any way I can.
Thank you so much. And I will put your text code and word in the comments so that way if anybody wants to reach out to you that they can find it. And thank you again. I hope you have a good night.
Thank you. You too. I
Oh,
appreciate you having me on the show.
absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.